Tell me, when was the last time you swallowed your own fire? When was the last time you had the chance to speak, to fight, to stand your ground? But instead you stayed quiet, you avoided the storm, you chose peace. And yet deep down, you knew. It wasn't peace, it was surrender. This is the disease of our time, the fear of conflict. It eats away at your strength, at your confidence, at your very soul. It is the invisible chain that keeps lions living like sheep. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. If you fear conflict, you fear growth. If you fear conflict, you fear truth. If you fear conflict, you will never taste freedom. This is not just motivational noise. This is philosophy, carved into reality by one of the sharpest minds who ever lived, Friedrich Nietzsche. And his warning is clear. You are either living by master morality or by slave morality. One path leads to power, the other leads to chains. So let's go deeper. Why do people fear conflict? Because conflict exposes weakness. It drags what is hidden into the light. It forces people to prove who they are. Most people avoid it because they want comfort more than truth. They want approval more than respect. They want to be liked more than they want to be free. But every time you avoid conflict, you train yourself to kneel. And Nietzsche knew this. He knew that morality itself, what we call good and evil, was nothing more than a reflection of power. In Nietzsche's vision, there are two ways of valuing the world. Master morality was born from strength. It comes from those who had power, who created, who conquered, who did not ask for permission to exist. For the master, Gudnian means power, strength, courage, vitality, self-expression. Bada means weakness, cowardice, decay, submission. The master is not afraid of conflict. He thrives on it. He defines himself by it. When he sees resistance, he sees an opportunity to sharpen his claws. To the master, life is not about avoiding pain. It is about embracing it. Life is not about obeying rules. It is about righting them. Then there is slave morality, the morality of the weak. Born from resentment, from those who could not fight back, from those who had no choice but to endure. Unable to dominate, they flipped the script. They redefined morality to make their weakness look like virtue. For the slave, Gudden means humility, submission, obedience, equality. Evil means power, pride, dominance, conflict. Slave morality is the morality of fear. It whispers, don't fight back, don't make enemies, don't stand out, don't offend, just bow, stay quiet, blend in, and survive. But survival is not living. It is breathing without freedom. Here's the dark truth. Both moralities live inside you right now. Every decision you make, every conflict you face, asks you the question, will you respond as master or as slave? When you speak your truth, even if it offends, that is master morality. When you silence yourself to keep approval, that is slave morality. When you face the fight and rise, that is master morality. When you avoid it, hoping someone else will carry you, that is slave morality. This war inside is the true battlefield. Nietzsche believed that the core of life itself is the will to power. Not survival, not comfort, not happiness, power. Everything living strives to expand, to dominate, to assert itself. The tree grows taller, stealing sunlight from smaller plants. The lion takes the territory. The storm tears through the weak. And humans are no different. When you deny this will, when you cage it, when you smother it under fear of conflict, you rot. But when you embrace it, when you channel it, when you stop fearing the fight, you awaken something primal, something immortal. History itself is written by those who did not fear conflict. Alexander the Great. At 20 years old, he inherited his father's throne. He could have stayed safe. Instead, he launched campaigns that carved an empire stretching from Greece to India. He faced enemies larger than him, armies stronger than him, but his refusal to fear conflict made him eternal. Spartacus, once a gladiator slave, he could have accepted his chains. Instead, he rose, fought, and led thousands in rebellion. Though crushed, his defiance echoed through time. Miyamoto Musashi, a Japanese swordsman who lived for combat. He fought over 60 duels, never defeated. To him, conflict was not something to avoid. It was life itself. These men lived by master morality. They embraced conflict as the forge of destiny. Look at the modern world. The entrepreneur who builds an empire faces conflict daily against markets, competitors, doubters. The weak avoid the fight. The strong build legacies. The athlete who dominates his field embraces pain, setbacks, losses. Conflict doesn't break him, it sharpens him. The leader who speaks the unpopular truth makes enemies, but he earns respect that outlasts comfort. Every man who rises chooses conflict over fear. Nietzsche also spoke of the Übermensch, the overman, the one who rises above herd morality, the one who creates his own values. The overman does not run from conflict. He creates it when needed. He does not live by rules handed to him. He writes his own. He does not seek safety. He seeks greatness. The Übermensch is not afraid of being hated, of being attacked, of being opposed, because he knows the truth. Only those who disturb the world have the power to change it. Nietzsche asked, what if you had to live this life over and over, endlessly, in the exact same way? Would you still avoid conflict? Would you still kneel? Would you still swallow your truth? Or would you fight every battle, speak every word, chase every dream, so that if you lived it 1,000 times again, you would never regret? That is the test of eternal recurrence. If you fear conflict, you will live the same timid life forever. If you embrace it, you will live a life worthy of eternity. How do you stop fearing conflict? 1. Face small battles daily. Speak your truth in small ways until it becomes natural. 2. Accept enemies. If everyone likes you, you are nobody. Greatness always divides. 3. Detach from approval. Stop needing permission to exist. Either 4. Seek friction. Growth comes where resistance lives. 5. Reframe conflict. It is not destruction, it is creation. Every clash makes you sharper. Conflict is the forge. You are the steel. Let's be clear. This is not easy. You will be hated. You will be opposed. You will be tested. But the alternative is worse. The man who avoids conflict becomes a ghost in his own life. The man who embraces conflict becomes a storm. And storms are remembered. So I'll ask you again, when was the last time you backed down? And when will be the last? Are you going to keep living as a slave to fear? Or will you rise as master, carving your path through fire, through blood, through conflict? Because the truth is simple. The world does not belong to the timid. It belongs to the fearless. It belongs to those who fight. It belongs to those who stop being afraid. If this struck you, if it shook you awake, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this, subscribe. Share it with someone who's still trapped in fear. Because the war is here, not out there, here, inside you. And only one of you will survive. The slave or the master. Choose wisely.